What do we think of when we think of the future? Well, we think of space travel, cures the diseases that we don't have at the moment, flying cars, for example. Well, one of the futuristic ideas that most current technologies being worked on would be automated vehicles, or autonomous. This is an idea that's been worked on since about 2013. These are vehicles which do not need to have human components to drive them. They can drive by themselves with a computer, assisted with cameras on the outside, as well as loads of data that has been researched, worked on, and computed. In this day and age, we actually have many tests being ran in California with autonomous vehicles on the highways from a number of companies. In Japan, the government itself wants to have self-driving cars by 2020. And according to a paper by Hayato Yajima and Kazuma Takami, they say that doing so will reduce accidents and traffic jams. But one of the things that they're working on in their paper is the use of a inter-vehicle communication protocol, which can itself transmit its moving direction, its vehicle data, to other vehicles in its surroundings. And in doing so, it can tell another vehicle what it's going to do before it's going to do it, so that the other vehicle will know to expect that if it's going in the same direction. They've done experiments with Raspberry Pi computers which were connected to cameras, which were connected to the vehicles themselves with radio-controlled vehicles. And I believe that using this kind of technology is a huge step forward, that we can actually get to having full autonomous vehicles on the roads that people can use for transportation. However, there are a lot of concerns on this kind of technology, and some of which can include, can a computer really take, say another vehicle is coming with a human passenger that's driving, and then another autonomous vehicle is coming that is driving in the same direction, and they get into a crash. Who would be at fault? The autonomous vehicle or the human-driven vehicle? That is one of the concerns in the paper by P.A. Hancock, Alain Nabersk, and Jack Stewart. Another thing in their paper for concerns is whether it will diminish humans' control over vehicles or not. Say, people now enjoy the freedom, and it's a right to have the ability to drive. But if we're in a world with automated vehicles, that would take that right away. So is it something that can become unpopular because of that? Is another concern. I think one of the biggest concerns is actually whether a robot can decide the right course of action if it's going to take another human life to save human life in the vehicle. That is a concern that we have right now on whether or not that is a thing, and that is from a paper from Wolfgang Gruhl and Joseph Stanford, in which they're concerned that this can also affect transportation industry as a whole, and what kind of mode choice that people will make. If automated vehicles are the only thing out there, would they choose more things like trains over cars? But I think, in my opinion, having automated vehicles would drastically reduce the amount of crashes that would occur. They would take out human error. They would put in a lot more safety on any kind of transportation. And I think that it would be a good thing for human society as a whole. But I guess that's actually up to the individual person, whether or not they're comfortable with having their control over the vehicle taken away. And that is something that we will have to get over, or we will have to address and move forward with. But I believe that this is a huge step forward for the human race, and that self-driving vehicles are definitely the way of the future. Thank you very much for your time, and I hope you will reflect on this and take your own opinion on whether or not you would also like to have automated vehicles become the norm.